First of all, I want to thank the management of the organization for inviting me and sharing some thoughts with you. They're going to freak out right now because I always say this as an intro, no matter what I'm doing. I don't write my talks. I do preparation up here and in the heart and the soul. And that's where it comes from. So when I get in front of an audience, I never am quite sure what's going to be coming out until I see what the ambiance and the environment's like. So I'm sure the management who's responsible for paying the bill, et cetera, is saying, oh, we did it again. We got another guy here. And I'm thrilled about being here because of you. By the way, who's the most important person in your world? Got it. And I appreciate you recognizing that up front. I had one of the worst presentations, at the outset yesterday, a couple of days ago now. I spoke before 280 high school students, juniors and seniors. And they were there on a Saturday, all day, 9 hours of time management. They were forced to be there, so they were all prisoners. And I'm in there, doing my thing. And I walked in and I said, well, I know it. Listen, I know you're not excited about this. I'm going to make this the best speaking engagement for you. I mean that. I speak from the heart. I say what I feel what I say. This is going to be a lot more interesting than just time management. And by the way, give me this. How many of you like music? Yeah, a lot of hands went up. In this audience, every hand went up. I said, how many of you like heavy metal or hard rock? 3/4 of the hands go up. I said, see right there, we have something in common. I used to be a DJ. I love heavy metal and hard rock. There is a groan that goes through this 280. And I said, what? No, that's true. He says, one of the guys yells out, because they're very direct. He said, you're shucking and jiving us, dude. There's no way you like heavy metal. I said, yeah, I like heavy metal. He says, you can't like heavy metal, man. Look at you. You got that suit on, man. You got that tie and host hair. There's no way. I said, I appreciate your opinion, but could you tell me what's host hair? He said, dating game, love connection, wheel of fortune. You guys all have the same damn hair. Well, I stand before you with host hair and the right attitude. I want to share with you a few minutes, kind of maybe preempting a little bit of what I'm going to talk to you about later on as a keynote, but I want to share with you a little thought about the most important person. And recognizing who you are as an individual starts very early in life, and we struggle with it. And I spend a lot of time with youth because of this. We all want control in our lives. We're born with that desire. I'm going to use this room as an example. I want you to look at each wall. We've got this wall over here, the left wall. Every human being is born on this left wall, totally out of control. The natural human desire for a human being did not choose to be born, didn't pick the date. I wasn't the one that selected this bonding between man and woman to have me show up. The minute we hit the silk on this wall of no control, the natural desire is get off this wall and get to this wall of total control. These two walls are with us for our entire lives. We struggle daily, hour by hour, minute by minute some days, trying to stay away from the left wall and move to the right wall. There's a good reason for this. Reach back in your memory bank the last time you got stuck on the left wall of your life. Maybe the relationship isn't doing well. Maybe the job isn't right what it should be for you. The boss, conflict, whatever it may be. Maybe your health isn't all that good. What's it feel like when you're stuck on the wall? Give me some adjectives to describe the feelings that you had when you were stuck against this wall of no control. What's it feel like? Helpless, frustration. Does anger belong over here? How about fatigue? Have you noticed you can't get out of bed? I don't feel like getting out of bed. We don't want to really get up and do anything. And frustration, lack of productivity, unmotivated, depressed. We know all the adjectives. Does it make sense on why we want to be off of this wall as human beings? Reach to this wall, the extreme. Total control. You've all been there. I want you to reach back in your memory bank and remember what it felt like to be up against your wall, the right wall. What's it feel like? Reach way back in your memory bank. Or if you've been so long you don't remember, ask the person next to you. What's it feel like to be in control? What's it feel like? Give me some adjective. Confident. In fact, let's try this. If you have fatigue on the left wall, what do you have on the right wall? Energy. It's a 180-degree sweep. We struggle day after day for our entire lives. It is called life, a four-letter word. The struggle is trying to stay to this side. No one of us is going to spend our entire life on either wall. This makes sense. What do you think a human being would choose to do if they believed they were going to be stuck on this wall every day, perceived that they were never going to leave the left wall? What would we choose to do as human beings? We check out. Alcohol, drugs, guns. There's no purpose for life on the left wall. So this makes sense. But how about the right wall? How would you like to be on the right wall every single day? Wouldn't the initial answer be yes? But how would you like to be over there every single day? The reason I ask this, human beings are born with 4 needs. We learned this early: live, love, ego, and variety. We spend our entire lives trying to meet our 4 needs. Which need would not be met if we were on the right wall every single day? Live, love, ego, or variety. We need this. So I'm going to separate this right down the middle. Which side would you want to spend the majority of your life? Somewhat to this side or somewhat to this side? Over here. Question. In our country, in our jobs, our relationships, where are the majority of the people in this country spending the majority of their time? You're very right, and it's unfortunate. To this side. I'll validate it. Last year in the United States, $4.2 billion in prescription medications written in this country alone. $4.2 billion. Doctor wrote it out. Can't get it off the store shelf. Can anyone name one of the top 5 prescriptive medications? Let's try this as a choir. Prozac, Valium. Let me run down the list very quickly. Prozac, Valium, Corgard, Enderol, Tagamet, Zantac, Bacardia, Cardizem, Mevacor, Halcyon, Clonidine, and Procardia. Just to name a few. Every pharmaceutical house that I've appeared for, they move them around. But you know what they all agree? They all agree that the top 10 minimum prescribed in the United States deal with stress. Does that make a statement about our society? We're a society out of control. When we step to this side, we go into a fight or flight. What need is not being met? Live, love, ego, or variety. Live. We're not meant to be on this side, but it's choice and control. When you find yourself on this side, doing well, moving to the wall, and someone else knocks you to this side, who's responsible to get you back? Who's responsible when you find yourself over here? Who's responsible? Jackpot. And we're living in a society today where we're raising our offspring to believe, not me, it's not me, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my sister, it's my uncle, it's the principal, it's my friend, it's not me. And I look at a student that says that and I say, you know what? You're right. And you're still over here and you're going to stay here until you take control of your life. Anyone, any event can knock you to this side. But who's responsible to get you back is what's important. We don't usually take control of our lives, folks, until crisis, trauma, or urgency points it out. Then we think about what truly is important, our values. Values, the base of what your life's about, is how you stay on the right side of your life. Example, when do most people recognize the value of good health? When? They're sick. The chest pain, heart palpitations, headaches, a lump in the breast, a spot on the lung. Oh, and this would be somebody who says, I don't have time to exercise. But if they survive the heart attack, do they find the time? You have 1,440 minutes a day. There isn't any more. You got it all. That's it. I'll share with you a story about focusing on what's real important. I happen to be very fortunate. I meet a lot of neat people, talk about control, trauma, crisis. I met this gentleman that wrote a song based on what I talk about. My son came in the world the other day. He came in the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay, and he learned to walk while I was away. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you coming home, Dad? I can't say when, but we'll have a good time then. As he walked away with a smile still on his face, he turned to me and said, gee, Dad, that's okay. I'm going to grow up and be just like you someday. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. I retired and called my son. It's time to talk. He responds, not today. The job's a hassle. The kid's got the flu. I haven't got the time to talk to you. As I hung up the phone, it occurred to me that my son had grown up just like me. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you coming home, Dad? I can't say when, but we'll have a good time then. It ticks off 1 second at a time. You can't bank it, store it, save it, or use it at a later date. Folks, you're the most important person in your life. When you forget that, no one's taking care of the most important person in your life. I oftentimes hear people say, my husband comes first, my daughters, my children, my grandchildren. And I say, if you don't take care of yourself, then who's going to take care of them when you're gone? You love the most important person first